Road coverage is brought to you by Pennzoil. Turn your engine into a self-cleaning engine.
Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon finished second and third. It's not going to be enough. Kurt Busch is the 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series champion.
I'll tell you, this is a championship team. As a championship driver, I mean, it's awesome to be here.
He doesn't care how heavy it is. He can hold it forever.
Kurt Busch won the inaugural chase event at New Hampshire in 2004, and he's the only driver to win the first chase race and the title the same season. Busch won that championship by just 8 points over Jimmy Johnson, the closest in series history. And joining us now is the 2004 champ. We just saw a montage of your championship in Homestead 2004. That never gets old, does it?
It's an amazing feeling just to have that whole day come together like it did with the wheel falling off. We started on pole actually, and then at the end of the race just trying to hold off as many cars as I could. I was counting how many cars I needed to keep between me and Johnson, and it just was an amazing day how it all came together.
What a crazy sequence of events, and we've seen a lot of crazy things happen in chase races over the year. This past week, no exception. Lots of fuel mileage issues for a number of guys. You were able to capitalize, recorded a top 10 finish. It seems like it gives you a pretty good starting point for the chase. What do you think?
Yeah, 6th place is perfect. If you can do that every race, you're going to be tough to beat. So we'll take that finish. We were better than that with leading most laps during the day, and then we faded at the end. But got back to the race shop, the crew found that the radiator pan had fallen off the car. That's 200 pounds of front downforce that we were missing at the end, so we had to fight through that.
Fight being the operative word there. I mean, there were times where your frustration was pretty obvious. We heard it on the radio. What were the obstacles you were facing?
Well, it's just, it's amazing how you guys blow the radio out of proportion every time I get to talk about it. It's the way I communicate to the crew. They know what's going on. Early in the race, I'm like, hey, the car's tight. But, you know, if you're saying it's just tight, they don't make adjustments. If you say it's really tight, then they make adjustments. So you guys really need to back off on all that.
The irony is here, it was actually your conversation early in the season that led to some changes at Penske, was it not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can do things in a forum that is a Tuesday meeting, or you can do it on the racetrack when things are exciting, and you got to get people to listen if you want some changes.
And since that meeting, I mean, the performance has been on the upswing. I mean, right after that meeting, when you win 3 poles in a row, I mean, right now, though, I mean, you come in, not only you, but your teammate, Brad Keselowski, he was on fire from the month of August on. You come in, your last 3 races, haven't finished worse than 6th. How would you compare the performance right now at Penske to the other teams you're trying to beat?
Well, I'd say we're right in the mix. I mean, it's been great to see the team come together and work internally on my team, and then with the two-car, and then with the engineering staff and the engine department guys. Everybody has come together knowing that where we were in May and where we've come to now is exactly where we need to be, and we're in position. We are with the guys at Roush and Hendrick, Gibbs, and RCR.
And the schedule comes right into your wheelhouse. The Magic Mile, a place where you've won 3 times. What separates the competition at that place?
Well, it's a tough, flat 1-mile track. It's very slick on restarts, and you have to have patience to let the restarts fan out, but then you have to have that raw speed that doesn't drop off, because the pace never really drops off at Loudon. And the other key factor there is fuel mileage. We saw that happen back when we raced there earlier this year. You stretch that final fuel run as far as you can make it.
Yeah, fuel mileage. I mean, you were one of the drivers out there to beat when we were there in July. I think you led over 60 laps. Still finished in the top 10, but I'd imagine you go back there with that fresh in your mind looking for redemption.
Yeah, we were running 4th when we took the white flag, and then ended up 10th with the fuel mileage. So it's just a matter of being there every lap, knowing what to do next with race car adjustments. And our pit crew has been phenomenal these last 3 weeks to post a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th place finish.
As we've heard it said before, to win this chase, you've got to take it one race at a time. What's on your mind specifically? What's the focus this week?
This week is to capitalize on a good racetrack for us. I think we can qualify well, race well. We know those Stewart-Haas cars are going to be good because they finished 1-2 last time, as well as qualified 1-2. If we can get out of there with something better than where we were this past week, a 6th, that's what we need to do, because this is a good track for us, so we need a good points day.
All right, hold tight. I've got more questions for you coming up later in the show, folks. Don't go away. Still plenty ahead here on NASCAR Now. Fast race cars and fastballs, 2 things Kurt Busch is passionate about, why his hobby has taken him on a major league journey.
NASCAR Now is brought to you by Kingsford Charcoal. Go to grilling.com and tell us where you're tailgating this weekend.
Here's what's on tap this weekend from Loudon. Cup qualifying is Friday, 3 Eastern on ESPN2. Saturday, the Truck Series gets underway, 3 Eastern on Speed. And Sunday, coverage of the Sylvania 300 from New Hampshire, 1 Eastern on ESPN. Our in-race reporter is Carl Edwards. Immediately following Monday's race, Kurt Busch had to go. Wrigley Field was calling his name. Busch not only threw out the first pitch, but also led the crowd in singing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Busch has always been a fan of America's pastime.
We direct your attention to the field. Throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch, please welcome the man behind the wheel of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Dodge car, Kurt Busch.
I'm more nervous throwing out the first pitch than I am starting my car for a race. When you stand on the mound, you just take it in. You just take in that big breath of fresh air from the ballpark, and you soak it all up.
And a nice pitch, Kurt.
We're racing in all the circuits now. You go to Miami, you get that park. When we're up in New Hampshire, went to Fenway. And so all the racetracks started to bring me to the ballparks. I'd been to so many, it was like, wow, I need to do this. I need to clock out all of the baseball parks. A lot of parks, I've just blended in and been a regular fan, just bought tickets at the front gate. I said, well, while we're out there, why don't we hit a ball game? It's just so much fun. Go Mariners! To go and fit in with everybody that's there. There's been ballparks where I threw down the name a little bit, and they threw out the red carpet for me. Hey, Chicago, let me hear ya!
You can't watch a game and have a better spot than this.
It's a chance to throw out a first pitch, and you can't take it too serious. You got to be able to know that the jitters are going to come in and block them out. But, you know, it's baseball. It's fun. Baseball was a way of life. I played 10, 11 years of Little League baseball. Mom was really forcing baseball because she thought racing was too dangerous. I love baseball. Yeah. And I've been to all the parks but one now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, this is my second to last one. This is really a neat park. Every place is different. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, it's an inferno out there. But those people, they love their Royals. Just tosses it out there. It's going to be a tough play. It's an American pastime, a sport that was generated here. Our boys, this is where you can just come out, sit out in the sun, grab a soda, and just watch good old American baseball.
You know what my favorite part was, right? It was you and the Red Sox.
the Little League shot, yep.
But we know you're a Cubs fan. You grew up in Vegas. How'd you become a Cubs fan?
Oh, just my family's from the Chicago suburbs, and growing up in Vegas, the Cubs were on WGN all the time. And so I'd just flip on the TV, there they were playing, and just the lovable losers. I mean, I feel like in my 33 years of existence, I've had some shots at watching them win. Maybe if I make it to 99, that gives me 66 more years to root for the Cubs. I mean, I don't know. Maybe next year. Those guys, they're a fun team to watch, but Wrigley Field just does it for me every time I go there.
You've been to every park. I know there's a lot of folks out there who would love to go to every racetrack on the circuit. What was that tour like?
It was an amazing journey. I mean, halfway through all the parks, I'm like, wow, I can really knock all these off if I really commit and try to do it. But, you know, on the racing circuit, we're so busy all the time, it's hard to get to some of the outlying areas. San Diego, Seattle, and Toronto were my last three, and you can see, geographically, those were the toughest to make it to. Mm-hmm. So, but no, coming to all the racetracks, I encourage fans to do that because you see the different nuances of each place, how drivers make passes, the different speeds that you can feel. I mean, Richmond is a great feel for speed, but then you go next week to the faster racetrack or the week before at Atlanta. I mean, you can see the speed difference, the feel, the intensity. I love it. All ballparks are just like racetracks.
Yeah, lots of great places to go on the circuit, I can assure you. All right, now this is just a personal question. Need to know because, let's face it, up here in New England, a lot of us are very concerned. The Red Sox going to make the playoffs?
Man, I've been watching them slide back a little bit. Making the playoffs is one thing, but charging into them and being aggressive and making it look like you can win your first series is most important. So we hope that they get in, and I'm more of a Red Sox fan than a Yankee fan for sure.
Good to know.
In the AL East.
Good answer, good answer. But even Red Sox fans were pulling for the Yankees the past few days. Kurt, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck in the chase and as you head to New Hampshire.
You got it. That's the most important thing is these next 9 weeks.
Indeed. And we'll all be paying very close attention every single lap. We thank Kurt. We also thank Jeff Gordon for stopping by. We leave you with this, folks. Some shots of some of the action so far in 2011. Plenty more to come as we make our way to Homestead. Thanks for joining us here tonight on NASCAR Now. Enjoy your evening. Hope to see you again tomorrow as they hit the track in New Hampshire.